reading out of the book of remembrance of Moses, the book of the law of Jeshurun, the covenant of Abraham, the 7 foundations of Shabbat, the 22 parameters of Ezekiel, and how evil viewed the law of Jeshurun. Welcome to the law of Jeshurun, an account of how evil viewed the law of Jeshurun, the header. Chapter 2, the header, page 33. An account of the original establishment of the law of Jeshurun, the original establishment of the law of Jeshurun. During the first generation of mankind and the origins of those 3 stations of evil, an account of how evil viewed the law of Jeshurun, and of how evil knows, and of how evil can know to come against people before they are born, of how evil can know to come against people before they are born, and of how Enoch protected the way. And it came to pass that the princes of the Lord departed away from before the Urim, but a strong presence of his spirit remained upon us all. And I wept much at the thought of so much evil coming against Israel, our beloved. And my legs were weak from my encounter before the Urim in my grieving. And I had to have assistance to walk back to my seat. And it was difficult for us to return to our usual daily labors. But the Messiah was urgent that we continue with the vision without delay. So we set a time and we all assembled again before the Urim. Verse 3, and it came to pass that as I looked, I saw the Messiah standing over a man lying on the ground. And the Messiah is very sorrowful. And the Messiah looked my way and he said, I came here to be with you today, to open up to you the very inception of the law of Jeshurun, in a day before it came to be thought of using the term law. And at this very early time, I can instruct you about the decisions that were made by both the righteous and by the sons of perdition. The decisions that were made both by the righteous and by the sons of perdition. Verse 4. The book of remembrance of Moses, the tablet of Gabriel, verse 4. And I see the man on the ground here before us is Methaniah. Methaniah is Abel, son of Yoxakad. Yoxakad is Adam. And I see his hair is matted with blood, no blood sacrifice. And the Messiah said, events have transpired here that are to become the foundation of that which evil will do. The foundation of that which evil will do against the king of Jeshurun. evil will do against the law of Jeshurun. Against the law, against the God of Jeshurun, and against the man named Jeshurun, and against his people Israel. And I see a man on the ground here before us is Methaniah, son of Yoxakad. And I see his hair matted with blood. And the Lord said, events have transpired here that are to become the foundation of that which evil will do against the king of Jeshurun, against the law of Jeshurun, against the God of Jeshurun, against the man named Jeshurun, against his people Israel. Origin of the war on Jeshurun. Mankind first encounters human death. Verse 5. And these events that you will see in the vision will reveal that important decisions by the intervention of agency have been made, and identities have been selected. Decisions by the intervention of agency have been made, and identities have been selected by both the righteous and the wicked, and their purposes, both for good and for evil, have been set in motion for the long duration of the earth, starting with these events now to be unfolded before you. And it is important for my people to learn. And it is important for my people to learn how the conflict all began between the forces of light and the forces of darkness, so that my people Israel, through understanding and faith, so that my people Israel, through understanding and faith, can overcome to accomplish their vision. And the truth will empower them. And the truth will empower them. And understanding will bring them wisdom. And understanding will bring them wisdom. And overstanding will bring them wisdom. And when it is their time to perform, and when it is their time to perform, and when it is their time to perform their vital work for my Father, and when it is their time to perform their vital work for my Father, they can come prepared in all things. And they can rightly anticipate the course that evil will take against them, thus arise victorious. And I see others coming upon Methaniah, upon Abel, lying there, and they are very afraid, and they approach to view him as though there is danger, and they discover that for a distance around him that there are other pieces of stone that fell from heaven. other than that one that hit him to strike him down. And the realization of the memory came into their minds that such a rock had fallen from heaven in Eden. Such a rock had fallen from heaven in Eden. And word spread quickly that such a rock came again into their midst, and everyone wondered what could mean. What it could mean. Upon hearing of it, some wondered if their world would change again. As their mother reported, and there were two who had heard it fall, and they saw the streak of light, and it fell in the middle of the day. A rock from heaven had landed upon the earth, and people asked, how could a rock get up there? And no one knew what human debt was, and none of them had ever known anyone who had unalive or heard of it. And they kept waiting for him to come back to life. And the pest poked him with a stick, and he did not respond. And they said they did not know a person could end, but clearly Metaniah ended. And after a few days, they all knew Metaniah would never get up and walk again upon the earth. And they all asked, will we end too? And the parents could not answer the questions. And the parents could not answer the questions. And the children of Metaniah, and in her grief, Siphi went and stood by him, and she was stupefied and became insensible from the pain in her heart. And she could not speak for many days. And some wondered if she would ever speak again. And after a time, she was heard sobbing through her grief, and she came to be able to speak again. And through all this, Cain was astonished because he did not know of unaliving either. And he had established spells of intense hatred when he was alone. And all the mothers would keep their children away from coming near him. And nobody knew what his behavior could mean. And Semihazah had whispered in his ear that if he would give his brother a new name and use hateful feelings for him when he was alone, when Metaniah would relent and give him his wife, and he named Metaniah Abel. He named Metaniah Abel, which means someone who needs to be replaced. Abel, which means someone who needs to be replaced. And the people heard him repeating the name over and over again during his spells of hatred. Abel, Abel, somebody needs to be replaced instead of Metaniah, the new name. And Cain would magnify his feelings of hatred with clenched teeth and by his chanting for several days before Metaniah was ended. And Semihazah delighted in his hatred. Semihazah delighted in his hatred. Verse 12. And he expected Metaniah would hate in return, and that by means of hatred abounding between them, that friction between you and your brothers and sisters, no matter what color, that friction between them, he would find a permanent place in Moladet. But no hatred came in return. But no hatred came in return. You running your mouth, but love coming back at you. Yeah. And there was no retaliation. Yeah. There was no somebody had to put the big boy or big girl drawers on to have no retaliation, to wipe the dust off your shoulder and just let it go. Stephen, let go, let God wipe the dust off your feet from that city. Yeah. No retaliation. And Methaniah could feel all the terrible feelings coming toward him, like on the Green Mile. He said, feel like bees stinging me all over. All the people that hate me in this room. Methaniah could feel all the terrible feelings coming toward him. Methaniah could feel all the terrible feelings coming toward him. And he never thought to hate back. And he never thought to hate back. And he never thought to hate back. And he did not know such feelings could be a force to feel. Boom! We gonna call that a one and done. Shalom, shalom.